What's up, you guys? I'm back with another video. Today I will be talking about my birth story. Whew. But anywho, press that subscribe button. I'll wait. Okay, hit that like button and don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you won't miss a video from me. Okay, so where do I start? Don't mind my ass cheeks, nor my nails. So I got a call, I think January 30th, saying they had a room open, room available for me to be induced. If I didn't take that room, it could have been longer, or I'd had to wait longer for another room. So I decided to take it. So I called my mom. I was like, Mama, can you come take me to Tallahassee? They said they had a room ready for me. So of course she said yes. My husband was like, why we can't go Monday, tomorrow? I was like, it's not guaranteed that we will have that room tomorrow, or they'll have a room available. And I just want to get this over with. I'm tired of being busy and pregnant. I was getting miserable at that point. So we had our hospital bag packed. We was looking for stuff. We were getting our last minute stuff packed in the bag. So we get there, check in. Excuse me. Get there, check in. And go in the back, and my nurse came in. They did my IV, and when I tell y'all, that lady did that IV in my left arm, and my vein still hurt to this day. And today is March 9th. It's like pain. If I touch it, it hurt, but not as bad as it is when she first did it. But my nurses was so nice. I love Angelica. Angelica was my favorite nurse. I hate she couldn't be there for the birth. But anyway, so after I got the IV, I say maybe 30 minutes to an hour later, they came in to do the server deal. That I'll put something here to explain what server deal is. So I got that. I say my contractions started maybe an hour later. They were bearable. I had to stay in 12 hours. I stayed in 12 hours. And I was only dilated 1 centimeter still. I had been 1 centimeter for maybe 2 weeks. And my due date was January 26th. Whew. Don't wish that pain on nobody. But after those 12 hours, my doctor came in, took the medicine out, and she let me eat. And was talking about doing a Foley bowl, whatever it's called. She was checking me, and it hurt. And I was like, she was like, that hurt? I was like, yes, ma'am. And she was like, well, when we do this Foley bloom, I'm gonna have to be aggressive, and you might want to get epidural since it already hurts you when I check you. And I was like, sure, because I can't take this, especially with that long. It's about that long, and it's like 2 balls. One go inside your cervix, and one on the outside, and it blows up and squeezes your cervix. And I'm like, sister girl, I ain't finna go through all that pain. So I got epidural. The lady came in, did my epidural. I think epidural was the worst this time, because I got it the first time with my daughter, my first daughter, and it wasn't that bad. But the second time, It hurt like hell. And I had to be still, you know, you have to be still so you don't move and the needle go elsewhere. Also, baby, when you have to lay down maybe 2 hours so it can numb the lower half of your body. And after that, I was laying there, I was like, only my right side is numb. I can still feel my left side. I could move my leg. I couldn't move my right leg at all. She was like, okay, we're gonna rotate you over to your left side so the epidural can set in on that side. So she rotated me, and I was like, now I can feel my now I can feel my right leg. So she laid me back on my back. So everything was going on. It's kind of blurry now. After that happened, be 2 hours later, my water broke. I was like, babe, I think my water just broke. Cause it felt like a little, and I was like, oh goodness. And I guess the Foley balloon had done slipped out. She just pulled it out. So after that, she said that Foley balloon falls out after 4 centimeters. So I had to be around 4 centimeters for her to just pull it out. So I'm sorry if this video is all over the place. I'm trying to remember the best I can. Also, after that, I was telling them my epidural was wearing off because I can feel my legs. So I was pressing the button, because they give you a little button to press when you feel it wearing off. And that wasn't working half of the time. But it worked somewhat. So after all of that, I want to say maybe 30 minutes later, my back was hurting, like from maybe mid back on up was hurting. I guess by the way I was laying in the bed, it was the worst pain I ever felt. It was sharp. Felt like somebody was trying to pull my spine out. I was like, Lord, please don't let nothing happen to me. I done got this epidural. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna be paralyzed? All this stuff was running through my head because I was so scared. And I was crying because I couldn't move my lower half. And then I got this big old belly in front of me. I couldn't pull myself up how I needed to sit. I needed to fix my posture. I couldn't do that. So my nurse was pregnant at this time. I don't forgot her name. They had switch shifts. I forgot her name. She was helping me. My husband was helping her, trying to get me right. And I'm like, I can't do this. Then the pain was shooting down my left arm. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So, one of my nurses was massaging me. She said I had a knot in my neck. I guess I hold stress up here. And she was like, you got a knot. And she was massaging it out. It felt so good. I was trying to take the pain. Trying to take my mind off the pain. And my husband was like, breathe, babe, breathe. Because he was watching the heart monitor. Anytime I have pain, I think he said my heart rate would drop or something like that. And he was scared. I was scared because I was in so much pain. I was in and out. And every time he'll tell me to breathe, I calm down. Because at this point, I was shaking in pain. Because, baby, what I felt it wasn't normal at all. It wasn't normal. And, oh, don't cry, Mama. After that, I had them took me a little nap. And I think they came in and checked me. And no, I was like, I need to poop. And I was like, no, that might be the baby. So they came and checked me. And it was like, oh, it's time to push. I was like, really? I just told y'all I gotta take a number 2. She was like, yeah, that's just the baby putting pressure on you back there. And I was like, oh yeah, that did happen last time, but I actually pooped because I told the people I had to poop with my first baby, and they didn't believe me. But that's a whole nother story. If you want that story time, give this video a thumbs up and put in the comments hashtag first birth. And okay, after that, she was like, we're gonna do some practice pushes. So I was pushing. You know, they make you hold it for 10 seconds. So I'm like, bro, I can't breathe. Can you let my bed up a little bit? She let my bed up a little bit. And she was like, you're doing good, you're doing good. I see her hair. I was like, well, dang. And my husband looked and he was like, ugh. And I was like, what? And he told me I see her head and everything else. I was like, oh. It was like, do you want to meet her? Nope. I don't want to see none of that. It's already bad enough. I got to go through this. And at this point, my epidural ran off again. I pressed the button and it still wasn't working. So I don't leave that baby alone. After that, well, my epidural was wearing off. I can feel everything down there. And I was like, oh my God. This was my biggest fear of feeling everything. Scared I was going to rip, tear, and everything else. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. I'm not ready. So she was like, stop, stop, stop. So she called in my doctor, some more nurses. And I'm like, okay, it's getting real now. And it's like your body have this urge to push. And I'm like, oh, I need to push. And she was like, if you gotta push, just go ahead and push. So I was pushing. And my doctor was getting ready. And then she got her stuff on. Everybody else got their stuff together. And she sat at the end of the bed. And I felt her fingers going around the baby's head. It's okay, Mama. I felt her fingers going around the baby's head. I felt her fingers going around my baby's head. And she was like, okay, Mama, push. You know, they count. I said I pushed 4 or 5 times and she told me to hold it. Because at this point she was like, I don't want you to rip. So just hold it as long as you can or until I tell you to push again. And when I tell you that crap hurt it, trying to hold her and her head was like stretching it. I said, I was screaming. That's my first time screaming. I'm like, ah. Then I caught my breath and she told me to push. So I was pushing. I was like, oh my God, this is the worst pain I ever felt. When they say the ring of fire, it's like the ring of fire. And I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. And I was like, my husband was telling me, you gotta breathe, breathe, breathe. I'm like, man, can I just push? She was like, push. And I guess her shoulder was stuck. And that was the worst feeling ever. Shoulder stuck, so her fingers was going around trying to get her out. I'm like, oh, no, I am not ready. But I pushed and she finally popped out and it felt so good. That's just what it felt like. It sounded like too. So they put her on my chest for a little bit. And it's kind of cloudy from there. I just remember them taking her I don't think she was breathing. The same thing happened with my first daughter. They they took her to the little incubator thingy. I don't even think it's called that, but they took her there, and she wasn't making no noise whatsoever. She came out, she didn't cry. They took her over there, she didn't cry. And me and my husband looking at each other like, well, is she okay? Then they was like, you want to come see her? So they was talking to my husband because, you know, I can't get up. So, he was looking like, yeah, I want to see her. So he took a picture of her. And after they did that, she finally made a noise like, and she came out mad. Her face was all balled up, looking like, who is this lady? Who are these people? I'm like, oh my God, why my kids look so mean? But they say my parents say they get that look from me. I can honestly say that they do. Because I got a picture. They look just like that. So, after that, they cleaned her off. They let me hold her with this in the skin. So, they birthed this placenta. And my husband talking about, what's that long old tube came out of you? Cord or something, he said. I'm like, what you talking about? The umbilical cord? He talking about whatever it is. Like a tube or a cord or something. Big and clear. I was like, oh, glad I didn't see that. That's my birth story. Sorry it was all over the place. I remember it as best as I can. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit share button, share with your friends, your mom or your cousin, brother, sister. But press that subscribe button. Leave a comment, please, and thank you. And I'm out.